All right, let's talk Jimmy Kimmel. He's back on late night. The return of Jimmy Kimmel Live comes nearly a week after Disney suspended the show indefinitely over comments Kimmel made about the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. In last night's opening monologue, Kimmel defended free speech and urged Americans to stand up for the First Amendment.
But I don't want to make this about me because, and I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow.
All right, I want to bring in Hugh Fink, an Emmy-award-winning writer and comedian who currently teaches at Harvard University. And Hugh, you've written for numerous comedy shows, including Saturday Night Live. You've appeared on Conan, Letterman's late night shows as well. What haven't you done? So what is your reaction to last night's show and the message that we got from Kimmel?
My reaction is that he said what most free speech advocates and comedians and artists wanted him to say, which is, number one, to not back down and act like he had done anything wrong, but to say that free speech, whether it comes from a comedian you love, you hate, you find funny, you find offensive, isn't the point. The point is that the government shouldn't get involved in stopping the free speech from happening.
And Kimmel highlighted the fact that people on both sides of the aisle are speaking up to defend free speech. Take a listen.
One thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American. And I am so glad we have some solidarity on that from the right and the left and from those in the middle like Joe Rogan. Maybe the silver lining from this is we found one thing we can agree on.
I definitely don't think that the government should be involved ever in dictating what a comedian can or cannot say in a monologue. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Now, if the problem is the companies, if they're being pressured by the government, so if that's real, and if people on the right are like, yeah, go get them, oh my God, you're crazy. You're crazy for supporting this because this will be used on you.
All right, so let's unpack this. Tell us your thoughts on Joe Rogan, who hosts one of the top podcasts in the country and endorsed Trump last year, siding with Jimmy Kimmel.
I mean, one of the funniest things, Jules, that I thought Kimmel said was to say that Joe Rogan's in the middle, because whatever you think of Joe Rogan, I don't really consider him in the middle. But I think it's interesting that an issue like free speech brings out strange bedfellows. You've got Senator Ted Cruz, Bernie Sanders, Jimmy Kimmel, Joe Rogan, and a host of other people, all sort of on the same page on this issue. And that's actually very telling, because it's rare that a constitutional subject gets people who are usually in disagreement completely on the same page.
So as a comedian and a writer, do you think this will impact whether entertainers speak freely? What are you hearing from people in the industry?
It's definitely already impacting people, Jules. The question is, people who are in power, like a Jimmy Kimmel, who's being paid very well, who has a huge following, who has a huge staff, someone like him is more likely to be able to say what he wants. It's people who don't have that power. That's when it gets more frightening, because whether they're on local television or podcasts or radio, if they don't have a big backing and following, they're going to be scared that, oh, if I say the wrong thing, the FCC is going to yank me. And that's not a normal position for an entertainer to be in this country.
Sure, you want them to write with a pen, not a pencil, having to monitor what they say. I was going to ask you this on the day after the night before. How are you sitting with things?
I'm relieved that Jimmy Kimmel didn't apologize. I was afraid that it was going to be like Lou Gehrig's farewell speech, but it wasn't that sad. So at least for now, he's back in the air. And as even Jimmy said, the point isn't whether you find Kimmel funny or a good comedian. You could think he's the worst comic in the world. The point is that at least bad comedians have a right to be bad or good. So for now, I'm breathing a sigh of relief. I am glad that Disney's new motion picture, Guardians of the Shareholders, seems to be on hold and not doing well.
I knew you'd leave us with some thoughts of your own.
Come on, Jules.
I know.
That's why I make the big bucks.
I've known you for 48 hours. I knew this was coming. All right.
48 hours, that's a show I'd like to be on.
Okay. Hugh, thank you so much.
Thank you.